Rachel Dilo De Vico, a junior high school applicant. This is my detailed lesson plan, and this is my demonstration teaching. Good day, dear learners. I am excited to discuss to you our new lesson. Today, you will learn the use of appropriate grammatical signals or expressions suitable to each pattern of idea development: general to particular, claim and counterclaim, problem solution, cause and effect, and others. Let me begin by giving you our learning objectives. First, identify the grammatical signals and expressions used in each sentence. Second, is to write narrative paragraphs using grammatical signals and expressions. Before we proceed to our lesson, I want you to reflect on our essential question, and this will be answered at the end of our discussion. What are the grammatical signals and expressions that can be used when writing short stories? Let's have a warm-up activity. Direction: fill in the blanks with the correct words or phrases that will complete the idea of the paragraph. Correct! I remember fearing balloons ever since I was a little child. As a result, I seldom attend parties and other events that might use balloon in general. For instance, during my best friend's birthday party, she insisted to have buntings instead of balloons. This fear of balloons popping is one kind of phobia called globophobia. Now, would this paragraph still make sense without these words in the blanks? Why or why not? Yes, it doesn't make sense because without these words, the thought or meaning of the paragraph will not be understood by the reader. In writing a story, certain expressions are used to make the story logical and more interesting. In today's lesson, you will learn more about grammatical signals or expressions. Before we truly proceed, let's review what are grammatical signals and expressions and how are these used. Grammatical signals or expressions are words that are used in order to show the relationship of one idea to another and to provide direction to the text. Here are just some of the examples of the different grammatical signals used in various patterns of development. First, is general to particular or vice versa. This pattern is usually used in answering essay types tests, introducing a paper, giving background to a research paper, or opening a paragraph for a discussion. Example signals: in general, generally, specifically, particularly, to be more specific, overall. Example: overall, the guests were satisfied with the accommodation and a good service of the staff. They had no complaints or anything. I just hope they just spread the word so that other visitors would choose to stay at our inn. Grammatical signal use is overall. The second is comparison and contrast. To compare means to emphasize the things that are the same, while contrast is to draw out the things that are different. Example signals: similarly, in contrast, on the other hand, comparatively, likewise, nevertheless, conversely, however. Example: Mr. Patches felt slighted by the remark of Miss Blatches on his recent song. He did not expect her, his dearest friend, to say such things about his creations. Similarly, Miss Blotches was not happy to say her criticisms about her friend's new song, but she had to be honest with him and with herself. She really could not stand his recent songs. Compared to his songs 2 to 3 years ago, his songs these days sound repetitive and do not have the depth his songs used to have. Signals used in this example are similarly and compared to. Another is cause and effect. It focuses on the cause, reason, result, and consequence of a certain phenomena. Sample signals as a result, because, due to, for this reason, therefore, as a consequence, owing to. Example, Marlo did not listen to the warnings of his grandma not to climb the old tree in the backyard. There were a lot of big red ants all over it. As a result of his hard-headedness, he was bitten in different areas and suffered excruciating pain. Grandma put ointment on the parts where he was bitten, and he waited for 2 days for the bite marks to subside. What are the grammatical signals in this paragraph? Correct. We have as a result. Another is chronological. Chronological organizes ideas or events according to time. It can be in the form of narration or a process. Example signals: first, second, next, after, during, lastly, finally. First, the students went to the small greenhouse garden to look at the different vegetables planted there. Then, they went down the dungeon to see the ancient tools. Next, they went up the great hall for the teacher's explanation of their next set of activities. When they were done with the activities, they went up the tower to observe the grounds. Finally, they moved to the forest where they saw different mystical creatures. What are the signals used in this paragraph? Correct. We have first, then, next, and finally. Also have classification. In classifying, it is sorting or arranging things according to common or shared characteristics. Example signals: one kind of, another kind, classified as, one category, belonging in this category. Example, Allen has different collections of comics. One category is all about superhero stories. Another kind is on local mythical creatures. Another one is random stories by well-known comic artists. His collection is such a diverse one that when one sees it, one cannot stop himself from leafing through most of it. In this paragraph, we have three signals: one category, another kind, and another one. Lastly is the exemplification. It presents general statement and provides specific examples to expound on the idea. Example signals: for example, for instance, namely, to illustrate. Example, I don't know about any of our friends, but Kim is doing so many eccentric things lately. For example, she wore a Filipiniana terno to our costume party. She did not specify who she was cosplaying. She just said that she felt like wearing it. In another instance, she wore the same pair of jeans for a week. She said it was a statement, but I honestly did not understand it. Then yesterday, she just screamed, "Freedom! Freedom! Freedom!" out of nowhere. I did not even bother to ask, but it was all really strange to me. I wonder what's happening to her. In this paragraph, we have, for example, and in another instance. And now, I know that you're all ready to answer the activity. Direction: underline the grammatical signals and expression in each sentence. Then, write its classification on the space provided. Okay, class. I hope that you get all the correct answers. Going back to our essential question, what are the grammatical signals or expressions that can be used in writing short stories? Yes, all grammatical signals and expressions can be used in writing short stories. However, the most helpful ones are comparison and contrast, cause and effect, and chronological. How can the proper use of grammatical signals and expressions be helpful in your daily communication? Right. As a reader, it helps us to determine patterns of idea of development, and so it aids us to better understand the text. And as a writer, we can build and communicate our ideas effectively when these signals are used effectively as well. And now, let us check if you really understand our lesson by doing the next activity. Your task is to write 500-word narrative portraying yourself as a hero. You must create the story of how you will become to be heroes and what you did to be considered as one. Remember to use the grammatical signal words and expressions in your story. And you must use each type of signal word at least once in your story. Great work! Now, how did the grammatical signals and expressions help you in writing your story? Very good! This help you to carry over the thought from one sentence to another, and from one idea to another, or from one paragraph to another. Great job! You did great today, class. Now, to enhance your skill in writing, take note of your assignment. I would like to end our session by leaving you this verse. Joshua chapter 1 verse 9 says, "Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest." Keep safe everyone and God bless. Goodbye!